This show is sponsored by Den 10 Insurance Services, helping businesses get the right insurance for all their insurance needs. Visit den10.io to get a quote. DENTEN.io. And remember, when you buy an insurance policy from Den 10, you're giving back on a global scale. Hello, all my entrepreneurs and business leaders, and welcome to the Michael Esposito Show, where I interview titans of industry in order to inform, educate, and inspire you to be great. My guest today is an international leadership guru with 40 years of experience and the author of 50 books, that's 50 books, including the award-winning See the Light in You. He brings a strategic eye and long-range vision given his multi-faced professional experience, including military, teaching, training, research, consultancy, and philosophy. And he created a blueprint consisting of 5 levels of leadership to build global leaders. He's committed and dedicated to the execution and transformation of students as global leaders with a global mindset to make a difference in the world. Please welcome, joining us from India, the father of soft leadership and the founder of MSR Leadership Consultants, India, Professor Rao. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you for inviting me.
It is such a pleasure and an honor to have someone like yourself on my show. I can't tell you how amazing it is to have you on the show, and I want to just share this with you in that I've been very excited about this interview. And
I'm equally excited to be interviewed, and let me share with you my challenge to begin with. I was blessed to be alive after the brain stroke in the year 2021. And I survived because of my positive psychology, because of the power of subconscious mind, and because of the healthy habits that I acquired from Indian Air Force. I was born in a toxic family and grew up into a toxic environment. I'm dyslexic with ADHD, and I have mental challenges, physical challenges, and financial challenges. Despite being growing up in a toxic environment, despite not blessed with a regular education, despite having a brain stroke, despite having several challenges, I bounced back. Precisely, I rose like a phoenix after the brain stroke.
I love that. Rose like a phoenix after a brain stroke. And just to kind of reiterate with our audience what you said there, just in case, and to paraphrase a little bit, and I'll be doing that just for everyone listening. Dr. Rao and I met via Zoom a while back, and we had a conversation about making sure that you are able to hear, listen, and understand everything he's saying. And so what we'll be doing is I'll paraphrase some of the thing he says, and sometimes he might repeat something or say it a little bit slower, so that you all can pay attention, because one of the reasons why I'm so excited for you to learn from Dr. Rao and for me to have the opportunity to interview him is he's written over 50 books on leadership. He's had his forwards from the Vice President of India and from the Dalai Lama himself. So he's just an amazing person. And then on the other side of this, we as a society, we get to immerse ourselves in another culture, and now the Michael Esposito Show is an international show spanning from the Hudson Valley all over the country, all the way now to India, and so this is very exciting. And so I just want to touch on what you just said there, Dr. Rao, in that you have overcome so many challenges in your life, from, you said, a toxic family, learning disabilities such as ADHD and dyslexia, and then overcoming a brain stroke. I'd like to just take a step back and go to your family life and go to this toxic family that you speak of, what that was like, what growing up in India was like, and in your family.
Let me share with you. Right from the childhood, Abraham Lincoln has been my inspiration.
Wow.
And that's the first thing I would like to put across. And because Abraham Lincoln encountered so many failures, challenges, and finally became the president of America. Right from my childhood, Abraham Lincoln has been my inspiration. And I was born in a toxic family and grew up into a toxic environment. And I was not blessed with a regular education. And, I was a college dropout, and I was born in a poor family, and I English is not my native language, so I used to write in my regional language, that was Telugu language, but I was not able to do well because of the dyslexia and the ADHD. So lots of challenges, and I had a passion to serve my country. So at the age of 15, I had a dream to become an officer in Indian Air Force, and I was very lean built, and I had asthma, and I was very short in height. So lots of challenges were there. So I used to go to gym in those days, so that I can build little bit of body to join Indian Air Force. So at the age
So,
of 18,
so
I joined the Indian Air Force.
Dr. Rao, I just want to go back. So you were 15 years old, skinny little guy. You were short in height. You had asthma. You had asthma, but yet you had an aspiration to join the military, specifically the Air Force in India.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for paraphrasing, and thank you for helping me, because I have come out of a brain stroke recently, and I'm grateful to you that you are helping me, and you are helping me to neutralize my accent, and also you are also paraphrasing whatever I'm saying. So I'm happy with you, and I empathize with you. Okay, now coming to the point. So at the age of 15, I had a dream to join Indian Air Force. Then I developed a little bit of body, and I was short in height, and I had asthma also. So by 18, I joined the Indian Air Force. And I was lucky that I came out of my toxic parents and toxic environment, because I was in a negative environment where I was born. After I joined the Indian Air Force, we call it as Indian military, whatever it is, you call it, but it is Indian Air Force, okay? Uh, and I started developing a positive attitude, and I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't have any etiquette. I didn't have proper grooming, and I was lucky that I joined Indian Air Force, and I started growing as a leader. And we had to get up at morning 4 o'clock for running in the Indian Air Force. It was very challenging and very tough life. And night 10 o'clock, we would sleep. That was the routine in the Indian Air Force. But after 10 to 11 o'clock, 1 hour, I used to read in the night in a street lamp, because I was passionate about completing my graduation, because I was a college dropout. So waking up at morning 4 o'clock, usually sleeping at 10 o'clock. I used to sleep at 11 o'clock. 1 hour extra I used to sleep in the street lamp. In those days, I was investing one more hour to continue my passion for education. So then, after I joined the Indian Air Force, I acquired a couple of qualifications. The qualifications include DME, BSc, MA, MBA, PGDCLL, PGDBM, and my PhD in soft skills in the year 2011. So all these educational qualifications I acquired through private education, not through regular education. People think I acquired qualifications from reputed universities like Harvard, Oxford, or Kellogg's, or something of that. But the fact is that I was I learned of my own by going to far distant places. I used to visit libraries after I joined the Indian Air Force, and I used to invest my time for education and learning. Apart from doing my regular duty in the Indian Air Force, so I worked very hard, and I served for 12 years in the Indian Air Force. Then I joined in business.
Well, wait,
My
I just want to go back to this Air Force experience because so
Yeah,
you served
yeah,
in the in the Indian Air Force for 12 years, and during that
yeah,
time traveled and self-educated yourself by going to libraries
yes,
and reading.
yes,
And
yeah,
you mentioned that you received all of these different certifications all the way to the PhD level, all through self-study and not through the traditional colleges or universities that everybody is
yeah,
accustomed to. I'm
yeah.
interested in how were you able to get these designations or of PhD and all of the rest that you had named there? How were you able to acquire these designations then?
I acquired. I didn't get a PhD at that time. Subsequently, I joined for PhD.
Ah, okay.
So I acquired DME because I was in aeronautical engineering because
Okay.
I was in Air Force. So that is DME, BSc degree I completed because night I was studying when I was in Air Force. Then I acquired my MA, then MBA, PGDCLL, PGDBL, all through private education. Subsequently, I earned my PhD with a gap of around 12 or 13 years. I joined for PhD and earned my PhD in the year 2011. So that is the story of my academic background.
Right.
Then what happened after serving for 12 years in the Indian Air Force, and my father-in-law told me to join for a business, but he backed out and backstabbed. Then I had some challenges from that side. I did business, but it didn't go on well.
So
So
you had
then
some businesses, but they didn't go well.
yeah, it didn't go well. I think maybe 13 years or so I did business. So I was a soldier. Then I was an entrepreneur. Uh, then I become an educator because I joined teaching. Okay. Then after teaching, then I became an author. So that's how my journey has come. So let me slowly go to the second level. So after uh, done business for close to 13 years, then I joined teaching. Then I took admission for PhD. Yeah.
What was the when you decided to switch from business into teaching? What was the reason for switching? I know that you mentioned that you had some businesses fail and it was failures along the way, but what was the desire to teach?
Yeah, it was a learning for me. I tried to do business which didn't go on well, and I didn't get support from father-in-law, and backed he backed out and he backstabbed. So many challenges.
So
So then what happened?
you felt betrayed from your father-in-law and
Yeah,
it didn't work
you
out.
said correct. I was betrayed. Yeah,
Right.
that is the
Okay.
correct word. I was betrayed by my own father-in-law and some relatives. So then I joined into teaching because teaching is the one I love it
Ah, there's a
because
passion.
right from my childhood, I'm a self-learner. So then I joined teaching and then became a faculty member. In the
Mhm.
year, I think 2007, I joined as a faculty member. Then took admission for PhD. And I did research in PhD for 3 to 4 years. Then I got my PhD in the year 2011. So then I became an educator and I started sharing my knowledge freely with the students on various social media platforms, apart from working in some private colleges. That's how I led my life. Then I became an author.
Well, so
In
you
the year
started,
20,
I'm sorry, Dr. Rao. So you started teaching at private colleges, and
yeah.
is that accurate? Okay, yeah. So you started teaching at private colleges and universities, I'm sure, and then became an author.
Yeah, you said correct. Yeah, thank you for paraphrasing and thank you for empathizing with me. Then I needed money. I didn't have money because business was not good. Then I switched over to academics because teaching is the one, not exactly teaching. This learning is the one that has helped me when I failed in the business. So then I became a faculty member, then joined for PhD. Then I got my PhD in the year 2011. Then I became an author in the year 2010. So then I started writing books in various areas like teaching, training, executive education, youth leadership. Then I wrote books on soft skills, then soft leadership. Then now and I wrote books on various areas because I'm basically an experimental author. I keep experimenting different areas. Then I also wrote a book on gender and diversity. So likewise, so many books we have written. For example, I'll show you a book about gender and diversity. This is the book on gender and diversity. You can see this book.
Yeah, so it's
This book,
strategies. It's called Strategies to Build Women Leaders Globally.
yeah.
Think managers. It talks a lot about thinking, and I also know, and this will be in the show notes as well, that all of your books are available on Amazon, and you have all the links on the website. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. And this book I have dedicated to Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, and Oprah Winfrey because
Oh,
I advocate gender equality globally.
wow.
And I received forward from the former Vice President of India, Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu.
So the
It's
Vice
a great.
President of India wrote the forward for this. How did you get access to the Vice President of India?
See, because I'm persistent by nature. So even my first book was rejected hundred more than 100 times. So I persisted. Persistence is the quality I am having right from my childhood to till date. So I'm very persistent by nature. So I persisted. I kept trying. Then finally he has agreed. The former Vice President of India has agreed, and he has written forward. That's how the journey has come.
That's
And
incredible. You just said that your first book was rejected over 100 times before you got it published.
yeah, correct. The
Wow.
first book.
What
And
what
yeah.
was the feeling like for you when it was finally published?
Oh, my goodness! I was on the sky. I was on the top of the world because I never thought that I will publish a book after more than 100 rejections. My book was the manuscript was accepted and the book was published. I think it was in the year 2010. I think my first book was published. So then uh, one success led to another success. So I got inspired.
Momentum.
Yeah, you said correct. Momentum is the correct word. Yeah, thank you. I gained the momentum. Then I started doing it. Since I'm a hard worker, because usually I wake up morning 4 o'clock, night 10 o'clock I sleep. I don't take any rest. Morning to night I work hard. In
And you're
a,
even working later tonight because it's what is it 12 o'clock there, 12:30 right now at night or in the morning?
it's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. Usually 10 o'clock I sleep,
Uh,
but since because we have an interview,
yeah, it's 1 o'clock
so
in
we
the
have
morning
come.
there for you. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's yeah 1 o'clock, 1:12. I think it's yeah, I can see from. So 2 and 3 hours back, one more interview I had. So the thing is when usually I'm very strict on time zones, but this is something very unique. Why? Because your time zones are different, time zones are different. So we have synchronized, we have adjusted in
Yeah.
such a way that we can make this interview a successful one. Okay, so like this, I have written so many books, and I am very persistent by uh, nature.
You are very persistent. I remember too in LinkedIn together. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm passionate
Mm,
about educational learning. I'm patient. I'm going to wait for the results.
that's right.
Then I'm persistent by nature. I will never give up.
That's right.
So these are all the qualities from my life. And this is the book I have written on Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders.
You have a book on
So
Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. Yeah, that was the book I wanted to kind of learn a little bit more about, because you're talking about global leaders and the youth of today.
yeah, so let me share this book also. This book received a foreword from uh, Dr. Kiran Bedi, the first woman IPS officer from India, and I have dedicated this book to former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, because I
Okay.
admire him a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, even the former President of India, Dr. Kalam, I thought that he would write a foreword for my book, but unfortunately, he died due to cardiac arrest.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have got forward for that book also. And this book is about my vision to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030.
Tell us about that
And
vision. Tell us about this vision to build the global leaders.
this vision I have crafted because I wanted to groom students as 1 million students. I think way back, I think 7 years or 8 years back, I had a vision because I'm passionate about education and learning, because I keep sharing my knowledge freely with the world. So I thought, why not to start my vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. Then
Yeah, so you had this vision to start global leaders in 2021, and then you were saying,
7 years back, I had crafted a vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. And I started sharing my knowledge. I have trained more than 50,000 students as global leaders. But after the COVID, after the brainstorm, things have changed scenario globally. So
yeah,
I started sharing my knowledge online because physically I can't groom 1 million students by 2030
yeah.
because of the health factors and with the changing post COVID scenario, things have changed dramatically.
May I
So
ask, when you're teaching these students, is it in English or is it in your native language?
no in English language.
Okay, in English language, yeah.
But
And
English is not my native language
right.
basically. And I started with my Telugu language, and I started with my regional language in India. But after I joined the Indian Air Force, I started speaking English
Wow.
because I didn't know English. Even when I was 18 years old, I was not good at English. I was not able to communicate also. But it took some years for me to learn English. Then gradually, even today also, my English is okay, but not that excellent. Like Americans, they speak very fluent English,
Well,
whereas I can't.
we don't have to go to India and speak Indian. So I always think, my mother is also an immigrant. She's from Haiti. And her native language is French and Creole. And so she speaks with an accent. She speaks English with an accent. But the thing is that, if you were, as an American, if you were to go to Haiti and to speak Creole, you would speak with an American accent. So, I always respect others who learn multiple languages. And, it's up to us to be patient and to listen well. And I think that when speaking with someone like yourself, and for our listeners here, when you're listening to this podcast, it's also working our listening side of our brain. It's helping us become better listeners and active listeners, because we have to pay very close attention to the words that you're saying in order for us to understand what you're saying. And that's a very good thing to practice. It's something that in conversations, many of us don't do. And it's called active listening. So it's very important. And Dr. Rao, your experiences are tremendous. And I'm so happy that you're sharing this. So I want to get you back on your path of what you were just sharing here about what you're doing and how you're inspiring over 50,000 global leaders. Go ahead.
Okay. So I started sharing my knowledge, and hopefully my health will permit me to build 1 million students global leaders by 2030. So that is the vision I have set it, and I'm going in that direction. So I'm sharing my knowledge freely with the world. I still belong to a lower middle class family, and I don't have two-wheeler. I don't have four-wheeler. I still belong to a lower middle class family. So lots of challenges are there. My life is full of challenges. I was born in a toxic family. I was not blessed with a regular education, and I business didn't work out, and betrayals by others, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, then again dyslexia, then again this brain stroke.
Tell us about the brain stroke,
2021.
because this happened because of COVID, you said, right? The brain stroke?
Yeah, it happened during the brain stroke. My wife and I had this COVID 2021 during the second lockdown
Okay.
in India.
Second lockdown in India, you got COVID with your wife.
Yeah, good. So my wife became normal, and I thought that I would also be all right. But suddenly, what happened? Doctors subsequently told that because of the high blood pressure at that time, due to long COVID and brain fog, and there were certain reasons. Because of that, suddenly I collapsed, and my right portion of the body was totally paralyzed, and I was in ICU, intensive care unit, and my short-term memory was disturbed for a few days. My long-term memory is very intact, but only I had some disturbance with my short-term memory. My right portion of the body was totally paralyzed. But because of the power of the positive psychology and the power of subconscious mind, because I have that power within me. So even the moment I collapsed on the after the brain stroke, internally I was saying inner dialogue. I was saying that I'm all right, like that. And I was telling, so that gave me some momentum to my mind, and gradually I started rising. So after a few days, I woke up from ICU. Then gradually I did some physiotherapy exercises in India for more than a year. Then I started walking.
So you couldn't
Regularly.
walk. You couldn't walk. You were the whole right side.
Initially I could not. No, initially I could not. But subsequently I started walking.
Right.
But why I survived, very simple. The power of subconscious mind,
Yes.
positive psychology, and the healthy habits that I acquired from Indian Air Force, Indian military. So all these things helped me to bounce back and to be resilient. Otherwise, many people, doctors thought that I won't survive, but I survived because of these healthy habits. Because I have a daily routine. Morning 4 o'clock I get up, night 10 o'clock I sleep. This is my routine. So my mind is well framed. I do everything in a systematic manner.
Right.
But unfortunately, this COVID has ruined my health and prospects. But I can bounce it back. But still, right hand is paralyzed. I can't type with my right hand, and my right shoulder is numb. There is no sense to my right hand.
Wow.
So I'm typing with my left hand, and since I'm not able to write my books also, maybe for 1 to 2 years I can't write my books because I can't type with my right hand. So what I started doing, I was listening to YouTube channels, and also I was requesting people like you to interview me, because I wanted to utilize my time by sharing my knowledge with the
Yes.
world. So that's how I utilized my time. I converted threats into opportunities.
Yes, you did, and you've created a tremendous amount of opportunities. I looked at
I
your
converted.
on your
I
LinkedIn page. You have
converted.
over. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I converted brick bats into bouquets. I converted my threats into opportunities. I'm very optimistic by
Yes.
nature. So because of this, all these things, then and also my attitude to gratitude. So all these things helped me to come up to this stage.
Yeah, I like how you look at everything, and it's this optimistic attitude, and you have these catchphrases which are very helpful to think that way. I'm interested in the thought of soft skills. Many of us, we hear this term soft skills, and you're deemed the father of soft skills, and you've written many books on it as well. And so I'm very interested in, what do soft skills mean to you?
Okay, so first of all, let me share. Let me go on to the. You are very systematic. I appreciate the way you are asking questions. Step by step, we are going. First, my health issues, then again education, then again diversity. Now we are entering into soft skills and soft leadership. Okay, so we'll discuss about soft skills and soft leadership. Uh, in the year 2007, I left business and entered into teaching. I became a faculty member. Then I joined for PhD in the year 2007 and 2011. I got my PhD in soft skills. And at that time, many people in the world, they didn't know much about soft skills. Then it was a new area. I thought, let me try something unique and different, because I'm basically an experimental author. So then what I did was, I started doing research about soft skills, and my PhD in soft skills. That's one thing. And I published more than 10 books on soft skills and soft leadership. And many people have some doubts about, there are so many myths about soft skills. So then I published a research paper on ASTD, American Society of Training and Development. They have made it as ATD. It's a very reputed journal, and subsequently other MRL journals and other various other journals have published my research papers. So there are so many myths about soft skills. People say soft skills are about emotional intelligence. Soft skills are about gender. Soft skills are about English speaking skills. Like that, different myth. There are so many myths about soft skills.
So people think that soft skills are about emotions or gender or other things. So what are soft skills about then?
No, but now I have given a clear cut definition of soft skills. Soft skills are all about the skills and abilities related to your personality, attitude, and behavior. That's the definition of soft skills.
The skills associated with your personality, attitude, and behavior.
Behavior. This is the actual definition of soft skills. So people talk in different way. Loosely, emotional intelligence. They say again it's people skills. Then again they say gender. It's about English speaking skills. Like that, there are so many ways people. There are so many myths. So I debunked all the things, and wrote a research paper more than a decade, and it was published. And it's eye opening for many people globally. Then subsequently, I published books on soft skills. So this is how my journey with the soft skills. Okay, now let me tell you with clarity about soft skills. I told you that soft skills are all about your personality, attitude, behavior. So soft skills are all about how politely, pleasingly you communicate with others. How pleasingly, politely you communicate with others. That is soft skills. And the soft skills are different from hard skills. Hard skills are all about technical skills. Soft skills are non-domain skills, right? So, So
So
technical skills are different and soft skills are different, but we need to blend both soft skills and hard skills to grow as leaders.
right. So just to go back here for a second here, just to kind of summarize, when you're looking at soft skills, they really go into communication and how we communicate with others, how we are perceived by others, and the kindness that we share. And then the hard skills are really the technical stuff. Is the stuff that you either learn in school or by trade. It's the black and white kind of stuff. And what you're talking about in terms of leadership is that it's about finding the balance between the two. It's finding how we can blend the two to where you are able to bring it all together, right?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for paraphrasing. So the soft skills are all about people skills. They are different from hard skills. Okay, and people are hide because of technical skills. They are hide due to lack of soft skills. Let me repeat this. People are hired because of technical skills.
People are hired for their job for technical skills.
Correct. Yeah, we can say people are hired because of attitude. Yeah, good. Again, you are connecting with dots. Excellent. You're good. I'm very happy with you.
Thank you.
What is it called? Some triggers are coming to my mind because of you. You're asking the right thought-provoking questions. So this again, soft skills are all about how politely, pleasingly you communicate with others, and hard skills are all about technical skills. And people are hired because of their technical skills, but fired due to lack of soft skills.
Oh, wow. They're hired for their technical, but fired for their soft.
Yeah, excellent. You put it well.
I'm learning. I'm learning from you, man.
Yeah, okay, good. You hit the bull's eye. I'm from military. Bull's eye.
Yep.
Bull's eye.
Yep.
Target. I'm from military background. So you hit the bull's eye.
Yes.
So people are hired because of technical skills, but fired due to lack of soft skills.
Wow.
And let me add one more thing. What you say is hard skill, and how you say is soft
skill. Yeah.
That means how politely, pleasingly you talk is soft skills, and what that is a technical skill. But how you say, how politely you talk, that is soft skills. That means again, personality, attitude, and behavior are again ingrained. They are ingrained along with soft skills.
Right.
So now let us move on to the next thing. So we need to blend both soft skills and hard skills to become successful. And when you there are three levels of management: top level management, middle level management, and low level management. So when you enter any employment, they emphasize more on technical skills. That means at the lower level, they talk about higher percentage about technical skills. But when they go to the middle level, it's 50-50. That means 50% technical skills, 50% soft skills. If you go to senior positions like C-suite level or CEOs, then you have to emphasize more on people skills, soft skills, because they don't do any technical job. CEOs, C-suite level leaders, they don't do this. They don't do technical things.
Technical things, yeah. So just to kind of give an analogy to this, I'm thinking of the barbershop. You have right? Well, in the E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber's book on business, it's, you have the barber, and this person has a technical skill. They have the hard skill of knowing how to cut the hair and how to run the blades. And they can put you in their chair. They can make you feel very comfortable and put the cape on you and cut your hair and do a nice haircut. But as the business grows and that barber gets 2 more chairs and 3 more chairs, and then eventually another location,
excellent.
and then multiple locations. And now this barber actually owns a franchise and has 10 locations across the country. Well, he has to transfer those hard skills, those technical skills of being able to be a barber, into soft skills to manage all of the barbers in all of the shops and be able to go visit all of the barber shops and speak to the barbers and help them get more clients, help market the business. And they're using the soft skills to build the brand and build the business. It's really beautiful what you described there. Thank you.
No, thanks for the analogy. Even you've given me one more trigger. So what I have to do, I may have to write a case study on barber, how the soft skills can be utilized by taking it as a case study. That's what a trigger has come to my mind. Like, a barber having one, then again multiple things getting done, then having franchises in a country or across the world. So it goes on like that. So your trigger is very relevant. The analogy is the main thing. I think I'm getting an idea to write a case study on this thing, but now I can't type because of my right hand. So hopefully all these things, I'll jot down with my left hand.
We'll record them.
I will
record them and have somebody else write it.
Yeah. We can record it. I'll keep the link with me. Then later on, when after 1 year or 2 years, then I'll write a case study. I'll write a case study and I'll get it published in Harvard Business Review.
Well, listen, if you're going to do a case study on this, then let's do it on my insurance company then.
No, it's a wonderful trigger. See, usually people, what they think, you ask question, I respond. That's not correct.
Yeah.
It should be conversational.
Yeah. Well, that's Dr. Rao. That's how I started my company. Yeah, that's how I started my company, was through learning the technical skills of sales, and then learning the technical skills of insurance and getting my insurance license and working for others. I worked at a small insurance company in town, and then a bigger one, and then a bigger one. And so I learned all of the technical skills like you're speaking about through working for these insurance companies, while at the same time I was developing my soft skills by joining organizations like Toastmasters and learning from Tony Robbins and listening to different self-development things. So I started combining the two, and then that's when I was able to, seize the opportunity of creating Den10, which is my insurance company. And now I utilize more, like you said, the soft skills of working with my team, of working with others in order for expansion and in order for training. And that's really what happens, is that when I'm working with my sales team, is that we're really talking about my experiences. I'm sharing those with them, and then how they can apply it in what they're doing, rather than showing them the technical way of doing things. That's for them. And then whenever it gets too technical, I actually refer to them to go to the insurance carrier to learn the technical piece, because for me, I'm more of the soft skill piece.
Excellent. Well said. You referred about Tony Robbins. It's a very powerful. He's an inspirational speaker and also an author, and he has got a lot of fans globally on YouTube and everywhere. I also listen to his his videos also.
Yeah.
Tony
Robbins. Yeah.
Tony Robbins, and he coached even CEOs and powerful people. Good. Yep. It's nice that we are having same wavelength. So we are on the same path. And let me share one more thing.
Yeah.
Having conversation is always good. Why? Because you give me something and I give you something. It's two-way. You give me and I give you. So it's like that. It's two-way. Okay, that's how it is. Usually what people do, interviewers or podcast hosts, what they do, they ask question, we respond. You question, I give answer. That's not correct. What is correct is, it should be conversational, and according to the situation we have to talk. And then again, I have to add value to you, and also you must add value to me. It should be in that way, and we both must add value to the listeners. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and that relates to leadership as well. in terms of leadership, and you wrote so many books on leadership, and I'd like to continue the conversation about your experience there. But as leaders, which you are, I am, and many of all of our listeners, you're leaders. And the thing with a leader is that it's exactly what you just described there, Dr. Rao, in that it's about sharing ideas, listening to each other, and creating value for each other. As a leader, our responsibility is to create value for those who are on our team, who are in our family, in our home, who are listening to us. It's about creating value for them. And in turn, they are creating value for us because, every person is both our student and our teacher. I was taught this recently. Every person is both our student and our teacher, no matter who they are.
Yeah. See, I tell to my students that, a good teacher learns from students also.
That's right.
Because I share from one way, but if 60 students are there, when 60 people are talking, so we get something new. Then again, we add value to the students. It's a two-way traffic. So I teach to students, and also I get some ideas from students, and I develop some triggers, and I do research. Then again, I develop my teaching skills. That's how like this.
Yeah, you develop them.
And
I have to ask you because it's been...
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, please.
I have ADHD, so let me share with you because
yes, please go ahead.
Okay. You see, because whenever I am being interviewed by others, what I do, I watch the videos of the people. I've seen your videos, really, they are truly amazing. I have seen a couple of videos, really, they are very inspiring. It shows your passion and commitment to add value to others. I've seen your videos, 3 qualities for a leader. I think last time also I listened, and I think 3 hours back also I listened to your 3 qualities of a leader. So some group conversation videos I have seen, because whenever somebody interviews, I do research, and I'm very committed, and I'm dedicated. I'm very serious, and then I take a lot of interest. Then I research and see videos, then observe the things, so that if somebody is asking questions, I should be prepared to respond to that.
That's right.
Okay, so this is the greatness you are having. Why? Because I have seen a lot of passion from your videos.
Thank you.
Some 3 hours back also I have seen your video, 3 qualities of a leader. So really that shows the commitment. See, commitment it's not simply doing things and going away. It should come from heart.
Right.
Heart is something that comes from, when you have commitment, it comes from your heart.
Right.
When you have passion, it comes from your heart. So that's how we have to take it. So I appreciate your passion.
Thank you. And one other thing, something I'm passionate about too, that I've discovered and learned is about mindful living, about learning to be present. I have a very good friend, fellow Toastmaster, who I enrolled in his class called the Mindful Living Program, Matt Alfonso. And in that program, I ended up learning how to become more present. I learned how to meditate. I learned how to really enjoy the moments. And from there, I discovered things exactly. That's where I'm going with it. See the light in you. I discovered being able to find these inner passions that you're describing about me. But it was because I had to become more present first. I had to learn to meditate, to be comfortable with myself, to be comfortable with my mind. And through that, I started seeking people like Thich Nhat Hanh and many other philosophers out there. And of course, the Dalai Lama comes to mind. And in your book, he wrote the foreword. And so I'm very interested on, of course, the book, which we're going to definitely talk about. But I can't help but wonder how you were granted the opportunity to meet the Dalai Lama.
Okay, I'll speak that. See this Thich Nhat, then
Han, yeah.
Eckhart Tolle. So I watch the videos of this
Yes.
leaders with on mindfulness. And Thich Nhat, how can I pronounce that?
I'm not perfect at pronouncing things, but I think we all know who you're speaking about, Thich Nhat Hanh. Yep.
Yeah. So he was very close to Martin Luther King. Okay.
Yes.
And I think
The
he
civil rights
passed away
movement.
recently.
He did pass away
Yeah.
recently, and Oprah did a
Yeah.
fantastic interview with him, which you can find online. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah. Yeah.
speaks to the power of meditation and the power of being present in that you could be meditating right now when we're speaking to each other. We're meditating when we're living presently in the moment. We are meditating when we're together in what we're doing.
And also this Deepak Chopra is from
Yes.
India. He is very renowned. Because whenever I take one book, I'll do a lot of research. Then Eckhart Tolle, then Deepak Chopra. So like this, whenever
Yeah.
I write a book, I do a lot of research.
Yeah.
Then after doing research, then I write book. Book. That's how I do it.
Right.
So
The
because we have to do,
inspiration comes from the research.
yeah, research. Yeah, correct. So I do research, then I then update regularly. Then I write a book. So that's how the journey with this book. Now coming to this book uh, titled "See the Light in You," for which the Nobel laureate Sulvenes Dalalama has written a foreword.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to the Nobel laureate Sulvenes Dalalama because he has agreed to write a foreword for my book. I'm grateful to him. He lives in India, and I also live in India. How the journey with His Holiness Dalai Lama has begun is that some 4 to 5 years back, I have come across some suicides among students. I felt very bad. I was upset. I'm passionate about students, and I love my students. Then I thought, let me work on this trigger. Why the suicides were raising in India? It's because of the educational problems or something. Then I started doing research. Then I wrote a couple of chapters on the suicide. Then I wrote about divorces. Then I wrote about mindfulness, wellness, monkey mind. Like that, different chapters I have uh, uh, framed. Then I have sent the manuscript to His Holiness Dalai Lama, and he has agreed to, and he has written a foreword. So this is how the journey with His Holiness Dalai Lama has
So
started.
it's always
And
persistence.
yeah, again, everywhere it's persistent. See, nothing comes easy, no. The things that come easily, that will go away easily. Okay,
Oh,
I
wow.
believe in that. The things that come easily, that will go away easily. So it's not easy. Life is not a cakewalk. Right? It's full of challenges. We have to be persistent. Okay. Even I requested His Holiness Dalai Lama also to write forward for my previous books, but it was rejected. But this book was accepted. Why? Because this is my area of interest. I hope you got the point. My previous books were rejected by Sules Dalai Lama because they were not related to mindfulness.
Right.
This book is about mindfulness. So then
It
it
resonated
connected with him.
with the Dalai Lama. Mindfulness
Yeah,
resonated with the
resonated, the
Dalai
correct
Lama.
word. Yeah, correct.
Right.
Resonated.
And so
Then,
tell us about the study of mindfulness.
okay, mindfulness means, there are so many definitions about mindfulness. Mindfulness means living in the present and not worrying too much about the future, not thinking about the unpleasant past. So let me put it in this way. People often think about the future. Okay, we can't predict. And people think about the unpleasant past that will never come back. So we should learn to live in the present. So let me put it in this way. Uh, in the sense, uh, according to the research, people waste 30% of their precious time by thinking about the unpleasant past that will never come back.
Hmm.
So why should we think about the unpleasant past? Let bygones be bygones. Okay.
So we
And secondly,
30% of our mind space is used to think about the past.
past that won't come back. It doesn't make any sense. And future, we don't know. I never thought that I'll have brainstorm. Okay. So it was. So life is very fragile. So let me put it a simple sentence. Life is fragile. Anything can happen any time. So don't worry too much about the future, and don't think about the unpleasant past. So learn to live in the present. This is my own way of definition of mindfulness. It's mindful living. And let me also put in a different version of this one. Sometimes people have asked the question, see, you say that, you have to learn lessons from the past. Yes, I do agree. We have to learn from the past because you have to learn from the past. Okay, so that you don't make the same mistakes in the future. That's one thing. And you have to think about the present. Next level is future. Okay, you have to be optimistic about the future. You have to be bullish about the future. But your future should not be at the cost of the present. Did I make sense?
Oh yeah. I wrote down. It's don't worry about the past. To me, it's plan for the future to learn from those mistakes, but live in the present.
Live in the present. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So that means past means okay, we have to forget, but at the same we have to learn from the past also because from the history we learn. So these are the mistakes we have made. We should not do the same mistakes again. That's one version. And then the future, we have to be optimistic. See, I have a vision. By 2030, I should become president. I mean, I want to build 1 million students leaders by 2030. That's the vision.
Right.
So future. So that I am having. But that should not be at the cost of the present. So
I like that you say that it shouldn't be at the cost of the present, because when you use the word cost, which is very important, I think, because it's important to learn from our mistakes. But when we start harping on those mistakes and we start going down the path of despair and the dark tunnel, then it's costing us our present moment. It's costing us the opportunities right in front of us in this moment. And then the same thing with the future is that when we start planning for the future, if we plan too much or if we think too negatively or too optimistically, then we're also robbing ourselves of the present moment because we're not living in the opportunity that we currently have. So I really like how you use that word cost, because there's a cost associated to both. And it's worth it to take that cost of like learning from the past. That's an important investment, I would say. It's an investment to learn from our past, and it's an investment to plan for the future. But we shouldn't allow it cost us anything either.
You nailed it. You hit the bullseye. Yeah, you said it rightly. Excellent.
I'm just repeating what you're saying.
It should not be at the cost of the present.
That's right.
We are talking about this mindfulness, living mindfully.
Yeah.
And at the same time, optimistically about the future.
That's right.
But not pessimistically about the unpleasant past.
And it's so nice to think positively about our futures. I think it's important to plan for failure. It's important to plan for what might go wrong, and set up some sort of safety barriers or guardrails, as we might say, for those issues. But really to focus on a pleasant future, because there's so many things that can go right in our future. So why not think about the things that can go right? I mean, even for you, to be so optimistic about your health, that you were able to walk again. And I'm sure you're optimistic about your hand and your arm eventually working again. And because of your optimistic view on the future, you also realize that even if it doesn't work again, you're going to find a way to make it work, to write more books, to continue to go forward.
Yeah. Thank you for paraphrasing. Thank you for empathizing with me. I want to write a book, either a memoir or my autobiography. Hopefully, I'll write a book after a year or so. I'll share my challenges, betrayals by some rogues and others. I would like to share everything
Yeah.
through my autobiography or a memoir. Because nowadays, many people they are writing their autobiographies or these memoirs. Memoir is a shorter version. It's a small portion of a life, not the full life.
Memoirs is a small portion of their life, is what you're saying, right? So
Yeah, if you look at Mahatma Gandhi's My Experiments with the Truth, that's about autobiography. Okay, so like that. So I want to write a memoir, small like Obama wrote memoir. So
you want to
nowadays
write,
people are writing.
just to be clear, you want to write a memoir about your life, is what you're saying.
I want to write a small portion, not the entire my biography.
I understand.
I want
Okay.
to write only a portion of it. That's a memoir. Like Obama wrote a memoir.
Okay.
Okay, like that. I think Michelle Obama also, I think she wrote. So like that, I also want to write a memoir of my challenges, a portion of my life, not the full portion. Full
Right.
portion means that becomes
The autobiography.
autobiography.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to put it very clearly. So I want to write a memoir about my health issues and how I was betrayed by some people, rogues, challenges, betrayals, all those things I have seen in
And
my
what you
life.
learned from them all. Yeah.
Yeah, I have learned. Yeah, I have learned. I have learned and I have become resilient. I decided not to trust people blindly. So many challenges. Okay, but okay, let bygones be bygones. So
That's
let us
right.
forgive the past. Let us forget the past and be grateful and thank them for teaching me all lessons. And
Yes.
again I am very positive.
Yeah.
Thanks for teaching me all lessons.
Yeah, you're very positive. You've overcome so much. I want to just go back to this in that, dyslexia and ADHD is a challenge of its own. I also have dyslexia, and so I realize it as well. Dyslexia certainly is very challenging. And something else that we share in common, my right arm is not paralyzed to the degree of yours, but I had a skiing accident back in 2004, and so therefore I don't have any muscle in my shoulder.
Very sad.
And so when it first happened, they did not think that I'd be able to lift my arm ever again, that I'd be able to play basketball ever again, that I'd be able to do any of those things. But, like you said, the power of the mind is, for me, I just always decided I want to be able to build strength in my arm. I'm going to do all of the exercises. And so I always exercised to the point where I play basketball with no differences that I did before. I still don't have muscle there, so I certainly have some limitations and some difficulties, but it's that, like you said, it's believing that we can overcome these challenges and finding alternate ways to overcome them. And so you and I share a lot in common, and I'm grateful for your persistence, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to meet with you via Zoom and go overcome all the challenges it took us to be able to get this to work, because we were having challenges in the studio for this. This has just been a wonderful hour to spend with you, and I look forward to doing this again with you and learning more about your life and everything that's going on.
So life is a learning curve. So it's that way. I came to know that you have some problem with my right shoulder. So you have overcome. But in my case, what happened? I'm already 58 at that time, 59. So at this age, it's more challenging for me to recover. But still, I recover.
That's it. Yeah.
Young people can recover.
That's right.
When they're 30, 40. After 50, it's very difficult to recover.
Yes.
Doctors
right.
brain stroke. 59 now. But still, daily, I'm going for a walk 1.5 hour evening.
Yeah.
And I started going to gym.
That's
for
right.
2 hours, I'm doing a workout in the gym for the last 6 months. So that I want to get back to the feet very fast. In the sense, I want to type, do all the things.
Yeah, I'll say,
So
Dr. Rao, I was watching some of your videos on YouTube, and you are a very fit man, very strong, very ambitious. I was watching the boxing videos and the monkey
yeah. See,
bars. Very fit, very
yeah.
strong. I look
Yeah,
forward to seeing you there again.
boxing, yeah. See, so, where I am getting excited because
Yeah,
of your interview. Actually, I forgot that my right hand is problematic. By talking to you, I am getting more excitement. I am
great.
getting more excitement because of our conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's very cool.
So I think you made my day very special. I thought usually, and let me tell you, people, your commitment is very strong. This is the thing I admire in you. But some people, they don't have proper commitment. They send Zoom link, then they cancel. They send Zoom invitation. They cancel. Like that, I have seen many people across the world. But you are a rare person uh, who stood by your word. You stood by your commitment. It's required. Now, I understand you had some technical problem some 1.5 hour back, but you somehow resolved it positively. Then again, you put everything into the track and you conducted the interview. So that shows your positive attitude. Had it been somebody else, what they will say, no, we will see some others. They will simply disconnect and they don't respond also. This is the attitude of some people across the world. So I appreciate your commitment.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this has been, like I said, a pleasure and an honor to be able to interview you. It's also a learning for me. I have to tell you, as excited as I was or am to interview you because of your background, of all the books you wrote, of the people that you reference, and also being able to say that I'm interviewing somebody across the globe and in India at a different time zone. All of those things, as amazing as they are, I was also concerned. I was fearful that I'd be able to live up to the expectation, that I'd be able to understand what you're saying. And I'm so happy that we were able to really communicate well today. This has been a real pleasure to interview with you today.
No, time is 2 o'clock in India.
Okay, well, you have to go to sleep now.
It's okay.
Listen,
No, I have no problem.
You have to.
I don't know how the time was spent.
It was
not time spent. I don't know.
Well,
whether time was spent or time invested, I don't know.
Yeah.
How you take it, I don't know.
Yes.
So I don't know how we spent our time, and usually we thought 1 hour. I think more than 1 hour. I think.
Yeah.
We had conversation. I felt at home.
Oh, good.
Our conversation is very warm, very friendly. Although you are much younger to me, but there is no gap because of the generation or age difference. But you empathized with me, so I felt very happy. I am honored and humbled. I'm grateful to you for this wonderful opportunity. Hopefully, we'll have one more interview on some other topic, some other subject, and we'll continue our discussion. We'll continue our dialogue.
Most certainly, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day. I'm sure that day will come.
We'll cross our paths in English. Right. What we call we cross our paths.
That's right.
I think, am I right or wrong?
Yes, yeah. I look forward to crossing paths with you. But to cross paths to me sounds like it's by accident, by chance. For us, we will plan to cross paths.
Yeah, we'll cross our paths.
Planned.
One day.
Yes, that's right.
You are very positive, and I am positive. Either you should be if you invite me also, then I can come there. I think you are in New York. You are from
New York, correct? Yes.
Yeah, my son he
is
has
in Syracuse.
Masters from Syracuse University.
Yes, I remember you sharing.
He's in Seattle. I think I have told you.
Yes, in Seattle.
Yeah. This is very nice. My son is very nice.
And I want to just say, just so that everybody knows, if they want to be able to find your books, they're on Amazon. You have a very prolific Facebook and LinkedIn pages. So if you'd like to connect with Dr. Rao, you can find him on LinkedIn. And something I would also like to recommend to everybody is to read the reviews about you. I actually, Dr. Rao, I have to tell you, the recommendations on LinkedIn, I actually printed them because you have over 71 recommendations about yourself, and I started doing this for certain people because when asking about yourself, sometimes you're very humble. And so it's nice to read what other people think about you. And we've had so many people, this one person, Paul Cork, said, Dr. Rao has a fascinating career from the military and the teaching of leadership guru, and is the author of over 50 books. And he talks about your success and your mindset. This other person, Janet Martin, talks about you're so positive and professional. And Dave Rogers talks about how you transform negative information and unleash potential to live an impactful life full of possibilities. So I just want to share that with everybody that, when you're visiting someone's LinkedIn page, to read the recommendations, read what people say about them. And you've impacted so many people. I know you have a mission to impact young leaders, but you're impacting leaders today. And I just want to show some gratitude and appreciation to you. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Let me share one more thing, that you're taking the printout of recommendations. It touched my heart, really. Nobody takes print of recommendations, really. That shows how committed and how passionate and how dedicated in your profession and the kind of things you are doing, really. I never checked out these things. I keep on working hard, keep going. I never look back. That's the problem, except recent past after the brain stroke. Otherwise, I was going very fast.
Well,
I slowed down.
You're a tremendous human being. I mean, those are the hard skills mixed with the soft skills that we talked about earlier. Thank you again so much for coming on today. I'm looking forward to many more meetings with you. Thank you for listening to the Michael Esposito Show. For show notes, video clips, and more episodes, go to michaelespositoinc.com/podcast. Thank you again to our sponsor, Den 10 Insurance Services, helping businesses get the right insurance for all their insurance needs. Visit den10.io to get a quote. That's DENTEN.io. And remember, when you buy an insurance policy from Den 10, you're giving back on a global scale. This episode was produced by Uncle Mike at the iHeart Studios in Poughkeepsie. Special thanks to Lara Rodrian for the opportunity and my team at Michael Esposito Inc.